small canyon, easily accessible out back, if it just so happened someone left the gate open. And then, up in the canyon, well, say no more. "This calls for a celebration," Bernie said. "How about a chew strip?" Was that a serious question? Who says no to a chew strip? He opened the cupboard over the sink, where the chew strips were kept. At one time, a very nice time, they'd been on an open shelf lower down. And while we're at it... Uh-oh. Bernie reached for the bottle of bourbon, standing by the chew strip box. We sat out back, watching the light change on the far side of the canyon as the sun went down. Bernie at the table, sipping bourbon, me under it, trying to take my time with the chew strip. This wasn't any chew strip, but a high-end, bacon-flavored rawhide chew from Rover and Company, an outfit owned by our buddy Simon, something or other, whom we'd met on a missing persons case, our specialty. Bacon smell, the best there is, rose all around me, like a dense cloud. I glanced up at Bernie through the glass tabletop. Could he smell it? Probably not. The puniness of his sense of smell, and the sense of smell of humans in general, was something I've never gotten used to. He looked down at me. "What's on your mind, boy? 10 to 1 you're thinking about how you'd chase that guy down." Wrong. But at that moment, he reached over and scratched between my ears, right on a spot I hadn't even realized was desperate for scratching, so I gave my tail a thump. Bernie laughed. "Read your mind," he said. Not close, but I didn't care. He could believe whatever he wanted as long as he kept up this scratching, digging his nails in just so. An expert. He stopped. Too soon, always too soon, and said, "How about Dry Gulch? Hell, we earned it." I was on my feet, gulping down what was left of the chew strip. The Dry Gulch Steakhouse and Saloon was one of our favorites. They had a big wooden cowboy out front. I'd lifted my leg against him once. Not good, I know, but just too tempting. And a patio bar in back where my guys were welcome. We went in the Porsche, an old topless one that had replaced our not quite as old topless one after it shot off a cliff on a day I'll never forget, although I've actually forgotten most of it already. Brown with yellow doors. Bernie driving, me riding shotgun. Loved riding shotgun. What was better than this? I stuck my head way up, into the wind. Smells went by faster than I could sort them out. A kind of nose feast that I'm afraid you'll never... "Hey, Chet, a little space, buddy." Oops. Way over on Bernie's side. I shifted closer to my door. "And ease up on the drooling." Drooling? Me? I moved over as far as I could and sat stiffly the rest of the way. Back straight, eyes forward, aloof. I wasn't alone in the drooling department. Had seen Bernie drooling in his sleep more than once. And Lita, too. Bernie's ex-wife. Meaning humans drooled, big time. But had I ever made the slightest fuss about it? Or thought less of them? You tell me. We sat in the patio bar at the Dry Gulch Steakhouse and Saloon, Bernie on the end stool, me on the floor. The big summer heat, not just heat but pressure, like a heavy blanket is always weighing down on you, was over. But it was still plenty hot, and the cool tiles felt good. Bernie pointed across the street with his chin. "What's that?" "What's what?" said the bartender. "That hole in the ground." "Condos," the bartender said. 10 stories, 15 maybe. Bernie has dark, prominent eyebrows with a language all their own. Sometimes, like now, they grew jagged and his whole face, normally such a nice sight, darkened. "And when the aquifer runs dry, what then?" he said. "Aquifer?" said the bartender. "Any idea of the current population of the valley?" Bernie said. "The whole valley?" said the bartender. "Gotta be up there." Bernie gave him a long look, then ordered a double. A waitress in a cowboy hat came by.